Hi all, so welcome back to our HTML class. Today we'll see how to create a HTML form. Okay, so for HTML form, I'm saying form here in the sense sign up, a registration page or a login page. So how do we create a basic registration page? Okay, so for that I'm going to use a firstly HTML tag and in my head tag I'm going to add a title saying HTML or else just a registration page. Registration page. I'm going to close my title and then close my head section and my body section. So the basic registration page consists of an email, a password and a repeat password and register kind of. So in my body I'm going to add first of all a h1, please sign up, and then I'm going to now add a paragraph to this saying that please register to learn more about the subject. Alright, and now I'm going to add a HR to this. HR is nothing but horizontal rule where it is going to give you a line. Okay, so to this I'm going to take for suppose email is required for registration, right? So in my email tag I'm going to give okay, let me just give you an email first of all and then a username that you would want to add and a password with repeat password. So these are the basic things that you usually see in any registration page: email, username, password, repeat password, and a button saying as a submit. So for that I'm going to add a button as submit and then close the button, and now I'm even closing my body and then closing my HTML as well and then saving it as register.html in my desktop, and let me execute. Now I'm executing it. So in my register.html, alright, so now I got a heading. First of all, my title registration page and my heading h1, please sign up, and my paragraph and my HR with my email, username, password, repeat password, and a button, submit button. But I want my email, username, password, and repeat password to be in a vertical way. Like this has to come under this has to come under this. So I want this into a vertical way. So now I'm going to give a break tag. So it will break my line and then get executed in a new line kind of. So yeah, I have created. Alright, so I have given a break and I got this in a vertical way. Now I want another paragraph saying thank you for registering, or another H3 saying thank you for registering. Okay, so now we know that we have to type our email. So for that we need a text box here in order to fill the content. It can be our email, username, password, repeat password. We need to have a text box to this. So in order to add a text box in the email section, I'm going to take a input type as text. So now I got an input type, a box where it is in a text way, where I can write any text. So we call this as an input type and an input box for a text field. Alright, now we need to make sure that first of all the entire thing is in a form. Okay, since this is a form, I'm going to subject this in the form, and to this I'm going to give another input type for username as text again, and for password I'm giving as text, and repeat password text as well. Alright, so now I got a username, password, text boxes for all the fields. But we see that sometimes in few websites we see that our password will be hidden when we are typing it, right? If you see the input text box for few websites, or recently most of the websites are preferring to hide the password when we are typing it. So for that I'm going to give a input type as password. This will make sure that our password is hidden. Alright, we'll try once again. See, our password is hidden. That is because we have given our input type as password, but repeat password, since it is just a text input type, so I'm going to get in a text again. And now I say that, for suppose a user may come and write username in the place of email. There are chances. For that reason we have a placeholder where we say that you need to type only email. Okay, in the email text field you need to type only email is what we are suggesting our user. And similarly in the place of username, and please enter username, and placeholder, enter password, repeat password. Okay, so we'll see. So yes, so in the text box that we are giving it, we got a suggestion saying that in this text field we have to enter only email, enter only username and password, and the repeat password. So this is how you add a suggestion to the user, saying that this is how you have to give. And now I would want the user, upon clicking the submit button, he has to be generated to this directed to this login page. So for that reason I'm going to create another page saying since he had registered, he has to log in now. So for that, I'm going to give a head title login, and the body I'm going to give a username and a password for which he has to log in. For that, input type is equals to text, and then placeholder I'm giving as enter username, and then break because I want my line to be broke, and then it has to be subjected to another line with a password in it, and input type is equals to password. I want my password to be hidden, and then placeholder is equals to enter password, and then break tag again, and I'm going to create a button as a sign in for this, closing my button, and then this has to be in the form, so I'm giving a form and then closing a form, and then closing my body, and then closing my HTML, and I'm going to save this as sign in page, signin.html in my desktop, or just sign.html in my desktop. And so what I'm saying is, upon clicking the submit button, it has to redirect me to the sign.html page where the user have to enter his username and password and click on the sign in button. So for that reason, I'm going to add a anchor tag to this using a anchor tag with the attribute saying as href. I'm going to give this path, so sign in path, I'm going to copy the path and then give in my anchor tag, and close my anchor tag, and this I'm going to give a submit button, and now we'll see. Alright, so I have created an anchor tag. Using this, I'm going to create a submit button. It has redirected me to this login page where the user has to enter the username and the password, and upon clicking the sign in page will be again redirected to the menu page. We'll do this in the next video, but for now we'll add a background color to this. We'll add some CSS. We'll change the color of the text, font size and all to elevate this. So for that, I'm going to create a external CSS and creating a new file, and the body color has to, first of all, the body color text has to be rosy brown, and background color I'm giving the background color as, let me take a royal blue color and see, and CSS, I'm going to name this CSS as sign.css. Alright, and we can even add a CSS to our form as well. For that reason, we'll have to use a division tags. We'll do it, and for now I'm going to link my CSS. Link rel is equals to style sheet, and href is equals to sign.css. Save this, and then using this, and I'm going to add this even in my head tag, and alright, let me execute this. So in my register.html page, I have got this, but one second, let me change the CSS to better color, maybe I think yellow green. Alright, I think then the problem should be with the rosy brown color itself. So please change your CSS accordingly depending upon the color that you think is relatively good. I think this is kind of a better, but most important thing is this has to be aligned. Okay, our email, username, password, repeat password seems a bit unaligned. So for that reason, I'm going to use a division tag, as in my form for suppose alright, I'm going to use a division tag, and my division tag I'm going to give a class as container, and in this division class container I'm going to add the content, and to this container I'm going to change the CSS. So division class, I have given a class as division, and using the class name container I'm going to change the CSS as, first of all, the entire thing, whatever I'm using, the page has to have a box. So I'm going a star as in the entire page has to have a box. So for that, box sizing, border box, and my container has to have a cell padding, border padding, cell padding with 10 px, means the space between the border and the text has to be 10 px, and width has to be, sorry, width is to be 100%, and I'm giving a margin as well, margin to my page, when the left margin has to be 5 pixel, top 0, bottom left, right, top, and then bottom, and the display is inline block. We'll see the meaning of each and every CSS in our next video, but we'll just change the background color to our container form, wherein what looks good on black. So background color of my form has to be, let me give this color, and the color in my form color, text color has to be brown. Alright, so we'll just add this and see what will happen, and we'll even change the color of our and one more important thing, let us change the text align to the center, and font size, and yes, font size, let's change it to 5 pixel, font family, let's get Times New Roman, save this, I'm sorry, so save this, and the HTML will save this again. So division class we have given, and alright.